SpaceX is launching the big rocket, the BFR, the big friendly rocket. Oh, not the double commentary. So I'm just gonna watch the launch, and it's exciting because if this vehicle does its thing, like we're one step closer to saving the species from global catastrophe. So that's exciting, and I feel like SpaceX just knows what they're doing with rockets. Like that's just the vibe that they give off. Like all of those, the way that they've innovated with the rockets returning back to Earth, and the way that SpaceX has just been evolving has been cool, and like they're helping at the International Space Station. And Elon literally won the bid from the government to be the rocket that lands people back on the moon once we eventually decide to go back there. I personally wouldn't feel too cozy in this thing, but that's supposedly where we're all supposed to go, like on our way to Mars. Like we're all gonna fit inside that little capsule. And what's crazy is people have already bought tickets for the trip around the moon. Not even landing on the moon, just the trip around the moon. They pretty much have their timeline laid out, and this launch is the first time that this big rocket is actually taking off. And what's crazy is like all the other SpaceX launches we've seen has just been one of the smaller rockets, and in this rocket there's like 10 or 15 of one of those, so lots at stake here, I guess. And they're launching out of somewhere in Texas off the Gulf of Mexico. I guess the idea is that if it explodes, like it will explode over the Gulf of Mexico.
150
That's so sick. It's literally gonna fly around the Earth, like,
and make its own hard landing.
that's insane. Oh, also these starships that they're showing the launch for today are also supposed to like take people from like New York to Hong Kong or something. So that's like also part of the vision. Yeah, Earth to Earth starship. Elon's building tunnels. He's building spaceships to get us from city to city. I feel like though, like the inconvenience of like taking a ferry to a rocket, and like just the anxiety alone of being on a rocket, like might not be worth the few hours you're about to save, like, you know, not being on an airplane. Like whose time is worth like that anxiety of like being on a rocket? But the idea is basically that these big rockets that SpaceX is building are gonna be built so frequently and at such a high volume that they're literally gonna be used like taxis, like Ubers, and like who's gonna be qualified enough to fly the spaceship is my question. Or is it gonna be all AI? Because like the people that drive for Uber are mostly all like really safe, fine drivers, but sometimes you get like an uncomfortable ride. And what if that's like your flight from Shanghai to New York in a literal rocket ship? So that's the idea with this Starship, to get us to the moon, to get us to Mars, to get us across the Milky Way galaxy, I suppose. But let's go back to the launch, because I really want to see. The launch is only like T-minus 9 minutes till the launch. Well, I don't understand about the rockets though, is like how much do these things cost? Because that thing is 40 stories tall and it's a lot of metal, a lot of fuel. So the one that is launching today costs $62 million. Okay, so it's as much as a G5, which is actually surprisingly lower. Like, I think I expected a G5 to be like $10 million or something, and it's actually $60 million. So, okay, you know, I feel like for that price, like... Hey, so I'm editing this video, and I just needed to come on and issue a quick correction. The cost for one of these starships is actually closer to $1 billion. So, yeah. Trying to get us off the planet might be worth it. But also, like, the absolute irony of, like, sourcing all these materials to leave a planet we need to leave because it's being sourced too much. Like, that's kind of ironic, I guess. I love the way the like booster wiggles like that. It looks like has its own personality. So I think luckily in this launch, like SpaceX didn't put any people or any objects or anything. I think they're just testing that it can like launch and go around the Earth or whatever. Okay, I think it's supposed to start launching any second now. Okay, so here it goes. The spaceship is about to start launching. No pressure. All of humanity rides on this one launch. No pressure. 6, 5, 4, 3. There's a lot of people chanting. They must have like some bar somewhere mic'd up. Okay, it looks like it's getting off the ground. It's getting off the ground. It's pretty slow though. Like, why are rockets so slow if it has all that thrust? Like, why can't it go faster? So that's where we hypothetically all be sitting as we exit the burning planet. Right there. It's going 500 kilometers per hour, which I'm gonna guess is like the same as miles per hour. That thing looks straight up out of like a horror sci-fi movie. It reminds me a lot of like the Lilo and Stitch spacecraft, the one with Pleakley and the other dude. Maybe Elon's just trying to make Lilo and Stitch happen in real life. It's crazy how the rocket can just like guide itself. It's supposed to like detach at some point and like come back down to Earth, I think. Chemtrail check. That's a lot of fire. Whoa, they just cut to an angle inside the rocket. That's crazy. Also, did they send a car into space? Like, where is that car now? Where, like, is that car okay? Has anyone checked on that car? It's at that stage now where the rocket's supposed to detach. So it looks like it's spinning. It's spinning. Whoa, that's so cool how it does like acrobatics in midair. Whoa, it's just turned upside down. But it's somehow like literally turning itself as it's falling towards the Earth. Okay, I think it's course corrected. I think it's about to detach. It just keeps twirling around like it's doing a little dance. It's doing a little twirl. It's honestly gorgeous. It looks like the Aurora Borealis doing a twirl. So like a 40-story building is doing twirls in midair. Does appear to not be nominal. It appears to not be nominal. Oh, whoa. Everyone cheering as it explodes. Ah! They're like, we did it, guys. We exploded $60 million above the Gulf of Mexico. No, I think that was sick. That was sick. They did that. They did that. They did that for sure. That's crazy. It just exploded. What? That shit just went. Russian hacker says I hacked the Starship and blew it up. Well, that we should look into that for sure. Okay, so they launched off the pad. We'll give them that, right? Like, Starship didn't explode in close proximity to people. It just rained hellfire down on them. So that is a silver lining for sure. You know, everyone on this broadcast is like, Elon Musk is watching this right now. Like, we have to make it sound not so bad. Oh my God, my hair just went crazy. Okay, well, now that the spaceship has blown up, let's look at some of these AI. Today, I want to look at some of these AI music covers.